The message arrived at 11:43 on a Saturday night. Vivian and I were sprawled on the couch, her head resting against my shoulder as some forgettable Netflix drama played in the background. Everything felt ordinary, comfortable, like any other weekend evening we had shared over the past 18 months. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. She still loves me. Ask her about prom night. Ask her about the letters. She's only with you because I wasn't ready, but I am now. Ask her. I read it twice. My stomach plummeted, but something in my mind turned cold and clinical. Prom night. Letters. In all our time together, Vivian had mentioned her ex exactly twice. Once to explain they had dated in college. Once to mention he had relocated across the country for work. That was the entirety of what I knew about Derek Shaw. "Hey," I said, keeping my voice deliberately level. "I got a strange text. Want to see?" She sat up immediately, suspicion already flickering across her features. "From who?" I handed her the phone. Watched her face like a scientist observing a reaction. The color drained from her cheeks, then rushed back in a flood of crimson. Her eyes went wide. And here was the thing that sealed it for me. She did not look confused. She looked caught. "That's my ex," she stammered. "He's drunk. He does this sometimes when he drinks." "Sometimes," I repeated. "How would you know he does this sometimes?" "I don't know. I'm guessing." Her voice cracked on the last word. "You're still in contact with him." It was not a question. The tears came then. Not performative tears, not the kind designed to manipulate. Real tears, the messy kind that streaked mascara and left her gasping. "It's not like that," she insisted. "We just talk occasionally. As friends." "What's prom night?" More tears. "It's nothing. We went to prom together senior year. That's all." "And the letters?" Silence stretched between us like a wire pulled taut. She picked at her fingernails, refusing to meet my eyes. "We wrote letters back in college," she finally admitted. "When things were hard. We promised to always be there for each other." "You still have them?" Her face confirmed everything her mouth refused to say. I rose from the couch without another word, walked to the bedroom, and retrieved the large suitcase from the closet. The same one she had used to move in 6 months earlier. I began folding her clothes with mechanical precision. She followed me, panic rising in her voice. "What are you doing?" "Stop. Let's talk about this." "We are talking," I replied, folding a shirt. "You're in love with your ex. He's in love with you. You've been lying to me about staying in contact with him. It's a remarkably simple situation. I'm not in love with him. I love you." I stopped packing and looked at her directly. "Then tell me right now, with complete honesty. Do you still have feelings for him?" She opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. "It's complicated." There it was. The truth she could not hide, wrapped in 2 words meant to soften the blow. "No," I said flatly. "It's simple. You either love me and only me, or you don't. Complicated means you're keeping your options open. Complicated means I'm the safe choice while he's the one you actually want. That's not fair. You can't just." "I can. This is my apartment. My lease. You moved in, but your name isn't on it." I resumed packing. "You want complicated? Go be complicated somewhere else." She tried to grab my hands, tried to wrap her arms around me from behind, sobbing freely now. Each time, I gently but firmly moved her aside and continued my work. 20 minutes to pack most of her belongings. Clothes, toiletries, her laptop, all the chargers tangled in the drawer. "Where am I supposed to go?" she wailed. "Your best friend Alicia lives 10 minutes away. Or your parents. Or a hotel. Or maybe you should call Derek, since apparently you two are still so close. I can't believe you're doing this over a stupid drunk text." "Over you admitting you still have feelings for another man while living with me," I corrected. "Fix that for you." I zipped the suitcase, carried it to the front door, then grabbed boxes from the recycling pile. Her books went in first, then her decorations, then that hideous ceramic owl she had inexplicably adored. She stood in the middle of the room, tears streaming, calling me cruel, insisting I was overreacting. Every relationship has complications, she argued. Love is not black and white. She cycled through every cliché in the book while I methodically dismantled 18 months of shared living. By 2 in the morning, everything she owned was stacked by the door. I ordered an Uber on my phone and paid for it myself. "You're really doing this," she said, mascara running in dark rivers down her face. "You did this," I replied. "When you decided to keep him in your life and in your heart while pretending to be all in with me. I do love you." "Not enough." "If it was enough, you would have said, 'No, I don't have feelings for him anymore,' immediately. You wouldn't have blushed when I showed you his text. You would have blocked him the first time he reached out. But you didn't, because it's complicated." The Uber arrived. I helped load her belongings into the trunk. At the door, she tried one final time. "Can we please just talk tomorrow? When you've calmed down." I am calm. This is me calm. And there's nothing to talk about. We're done. I closed the door. The next morning, I changed the locks using a kit from the hardware store. $45. Worth every penny. 4 days passed. She called 23 times. Sent 89 text messages. I read none of them. After the first few voicemails, which alternated between tearful apologies and accusations of heartlessness, I blocked her everywhere. Her ex could not have her. She was already halfway back to him anyway. 1 week later, the entitlement revealed itself in spectacular fashion. Monday morning, 7 o'clock sharp. I was getting ready for work when a knock rattled my door. Alicia Reed stood in the hallway, arms crossed, chin lifted in defiance. "We need to talk," she announced, pushing past me into the apartment before I could object. "Good morning to you too," I said dryly. "Do you have any idea what you've done to her? She's been sobbing for days. She can't eat. She can't sleep. She's a complete mess. That's unfortunate." "Unfortunate." Alicia's voice rose an octave. "You threw her out in the middle of the night over nothing. Over her admitting she still has feelings for her ex. That's not nothing." She was confused. "You put her on the spot. You ambushed her." I could not help the laugh that escaped. "I ambushed her by showing her a text that her ex sent me. That's rich. You know what I mean." She didn't know how to react. She panicked. She blushed and said, "It's complicated." "That's not panic. That's truth." Alicia stepped closer, getting in my face. "You're throwing away 18 months over a drunk text from some loser she dated years ago." "No. I'm ending a relationship with someone who never fully committed to me." "Big difference. She's in love with you. Then why does she still write letters to him?" I asked, my voice deceptively calm. "Why does she save his texts? Why didn't she block him the first time he reached out? Why did she hide all of this from me? Because she knew you'd react like this. Like a jealous psycho. Jealous would be demanding she never speak to him again. Psycho would be tracking her phone. I simply removed myself from a situation where I'm competing for my own girlfriend's affection. That's called self-respect." Alicia shifted tactics. "Look, she made a mistake. She should have been honest. But she's learned from this. She wants to work it out. Don't you think you owe it to the relationship to at least talk to her? I don't owe anything to someone who was emotionally cheating on me. It wasn't cheating. What do you call maintaining a romantic connection with an ex behind your current partner's back? They're just friends. Friends don't send drunk texts professing love. Friends don't keep promise letters from years ago. And friends definitely don't make your girlfriend blush when they're mentioned." She left after another 15 minutes of circular arguments, informing me I would regret this, that I was being stubborn, that love requires forgiveness. Wednesday brought a new challenger. My phone rang from an unknown number, and I answered without thinking. "Hello. Is this him?" A cold, clipped voice. "Is this who?" "The boy who broke my daughter's heart." I exhaled slowly. If this is about Vivian. She is devastated. Do you understand? She trusted you. She loved you. And you just threw her away like garbage. Ma'am, with respect, your daughter admitted to having feelings for another man while in a relationship with me. I made the decision to end things rather than be someone's backup plan. She doesn't have feelings for him. She was scared and said the wrong thing. She said it's complicated. That's pretty clear. Relationships are complicated. You young people today think everything should be perfect all the time. Marriage requires work. Forgiveness. We're not married. And even if we were, I don't think work means accepting that my partner is in love with someone else. She is not in love with him. He's a deadbeat who can't commit. She's with you. Was with me. Past tense. You are making the biggest mistake of your life. She's beautiful, smart, funny. Any man would be lucky to have her. Then Derek should be thrilled. He clearly wants her back. She clearly still has feelings for him. Perfect match. How dare you? After everything she's done for you. Like what, exactly? She cleaned your apartment. She cooked for you. She lived here rent-free for 6 months. I paid for every dinner out, every vacation, every streaming subscription. I'm not keeping score, but if we're measuring contributions, I'm confident I come out ahead. Mrs. Mercer actually sputtered, a sound of pure indignation, then disconnected the call. Thursday night, Derek himself reached out through Instagram. The sheer audacity was almost admirable. Hey man, just wanted to say sorry about the text. I was drunk and stupid, but for real, I'm not trying to cause problems. She told me you guys broke up and I just wanted to make sure you knew it wasn't because of me. I spent 5 full minutes crafting my response. Cool story. She told you we broke up. Interesting, since I broke up with her 4 days after your text. Almost like she was already mentally checked out of our relationship and updating you on her availability. But sure, totally not because of you. Good luck with that train wreck. I blocked him immediately after sending. Did not want to see his response. Did not care. Friday evening at 7 o'clock, Vivian appeared at my door. She looked rough. Hair pulled into a messy bun, face bare of makeup, wearing faded sweatpants that hung loose on her frame. We need to talk, she said. No, we don't. Yes, we do. You can't just shut me out like this. I deserve a conversation. You got a conversation last Saturday. It ended with you admitting you still have feelings for your ex. I never said that. You said it's complicated. Same thing. It's not the same thing. I was confused. You put me on the spot. A simple yes or no question confused you. The tears began again, the ugly kind, accompanied by ragged breaths and smeared snot. Why are you being so cruel? I made a mistake. I should have told you about him, but I was scared you'd react exactly like this. React like what? Like someone with self-respect. Like someone who doesn't trust me. Like someone who won't fight for us. And there it was. The real issue, finally exposed. You wanted me to fight for you, I said slowly, the realization crystallizing. You wanted me to compete with him. Prove myself. Beg you to choose me. No, that's not. Yes, it is. You wanted the drama. The validation. 2 men fighting over you so you could feel special and eventually make your grand choice. Well, congratulations. You got your drama. But I'm not playing. I don't compete for someone's affection. Either you want to be with me completely, or you don't. You proved you don't. I do want to be with you. Then why do you still talk to him? Why do you still have his letters? Why did his drunk text about you loving him make you blush instead of furious? She had no answer. Just kept crying and repeating that I did not understand. You're right, I said. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can claim to love me while keeping your ex as an emotional backup. I don't understand how you think that's fair to me. And I don't understand why you think I should accept it. Because people are complicated. Feelings are messy. You can't just throw away. Watch me. I closed the door. Locked it. Heard her crying outside for 10 minutes before her footsteps finally retreated down the hallway. 2 hours later, a text arrived from Alicia. You're going to die alone and bitter. Hope you're happy. I typed my reply without hesitation. Better alone than someone's second choice. The second week began with an actual physical letter slipped under my door. 6 pages, front and back, written in Vivian's careful handwriting. She explained how she had finally realized what she had lost. How she had been emotionally immature and afraid of commitment. How she had cut off Derek completely. How she was ready to be all in now. Translation: Derek probably wanted no part of the drama that came with an actual relationship, and she had realized her backup plan was serious about being finished. I threw the letter away without responding. Then came the mutual friends offensive. 3 different people texted me over 4 days, each delivering some variation of the same message. She's really sorry. She's changed. Give her another chance. You guys were so good together. Don't throw it away over pride. She made a mistake. Everyone deserves forgiveness. I asked each one the same question: did she tell you she admitted to still having feelings for her ex? The responses ranged from awkward silence to elaborate backtracking. Well, she didn't exactly say that. And she was confused. She said it's complicated when I asked if she still had feelings for him, I replied. What part of that is unclear? Usually I received some variation of, relationships are messy, or, feelings are complex, or my personal favorite, you're being too black and white about this. I blocked 2 of them. The third actually paused and admitted, okay, yeah. If my girlfriend said that, I'd be out too. Fair enough. At least one person possessed some sense. Vivian apparently decided that if direct approaches were failing, indirect manipulation might succeed. Her brother Connor called me. I had met him twice at family dinners and barely knew him. Hey, man. My sister asked me to reach out. Of course she did. Look, I get it. She messed up. But she's really struggling. Like, really struggling. She's barely eating. She cried through our mom's birthday dinner. She's talking about taking time off work because she can't focus. That's rough. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe if you just talk to her, give her some closure. She needs to hear from you that it's really over so she can start moving on. Seemed reasonable enough on the surface. She knows it's over. I've made that crystal clear. I know, but hearing it one more time might help. Maybe meet her for coffee just to talk. Why do I feel like this is an ambush? Connor's laugh came out nervous and unconvincing. It's not. I promise. She just needs closure, face to face. Something felt wrong. Did she tell you what I asked her? Why we actually broke up? She said you guys had a fight about her ex. Not quite. I asked her if she still had feelings for him. She said it's complicated. That's not a fight. That's a deal breaker. Silence stretched across the line. She told me you misunderstood her, Connor finally said. I didn't. I asked a yes or no question. She couldn't say no. That's all the understanding I needed. Maybe she just needed time to think about. If you need time to think about whether you have feelings for an ex while dating someone else, you've already answered the question. More silence. So you won't meet with her? Nope. You're really just done. That's it. That's it. He sighed heavily. All right, man. Can't say I didn't try. For what it's worth, I get where you're coming from. If my girlfriend pulled that, I'd have lost it. I almost did. But getting angry wouldn't have changed anything. She'd already made her choice. She made it before I even knew I was competing. You weren't competing, man. There was no competition. In her head, he already won. You were just the nice guy who treated her well until her real choice became available. The words landed like a punch to the chest. But they were accurate. 2 days later, the escalation continued. Alicia posted on Instagram a photograph of Vivian looking sad, captioned with something about, when someone gives up on you instead of fighting for the relationship you both wanted. A subpost about me. Classy. Here is the thing about social media, though. I had receipts. I replied in the comments with a single sentence: when someone admits they still have feelings for their ex, it's not giving up to walk away. It's called self-respect. The post disappeared within an hour. Then came the attempted workplace sabotage. Someone, almost certainly Mrs. Mercer based on the writing style, left a 1-star Google review for my company. Employees here are unprofessional and cruel to women. Would not recommend supporting a business that employs heartless people. I reported it to Google as harassment and informed my boss, giving him the full context. He laughed and said, "Your ex-girlfriend's mom is leaving fake reviews. That's a new one. Don't worry about it." The review was removed within 3 days. The peak of entitlement arrived exactly 3 weeks after I had ended things. I was at the grocery store, minding my own business in the pasta aisle, when I heard my name called from behind. I turned. Vivian stood there with her mother and Alicia flanking her like bodyguards. "We need to talk," Mrs. Mercer announced, as though summoning me to a tribunal. "No, we don't." "Yes, we do. You owe my daughter a conversation." "I owe her nothing." "Excuse me." I tried to push my cart past them. Alicia stepped sideways to block my path. "You don't get to just walk away," she said. "Actually, I do. That's kind of what walking away means." Vivian finally spoke, her voice small and trembling. "Please. Just 5 minutes. I need closure." "You want closure? Fine. Here it is. We're over, permanently, because you couldn't answer a simple question about whether you still had feelings for your ex. That's your closure. Now move." "That's it." Mrs. Mercer's voice rose to a screech. "That's all you have to say? What more do you want? A PowerPoint presentation explaining why being someone's backup plan isn't appealing? She's not using you as a backup. She loves you. She loves the idea of me. The security I provided. The financial stability. The nice apartment. But she's in love with him. Big difference." "That is not true." I looked directly at Vivian. "Tell me I'm wrong. Right here, right now. Tell me you don't still wonder what if about him. Tell me you don't still think about him. Tell me he's completely out of your heart." She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Just like 3 weeks ago. That's what I thought. I pushed my cart past them and kept walking. Alicia shouted after me, "You're going to regret this. She's the best thing that ever happened to you." I did not turn around. That night, I received a text from Connor. "Look man, I tried to stay neutral, but you ambushing my sister at the grocery store was messed up." "I didn't ambush anyone. They cornered me." "That's not what she said." "Of course it's not. Ask yourself why 3 people needed to corner me in public if they weren't planning something." No response came. The next morning, Sunday, I woke to 53 Instagram messages from Derek. I did not read a single one. Blocked him immediately. Apparently, he had opinions about me breaking Vivian's heart. The irony was staggering. His drunk text had started this entire mess. He did not get to play White Knight now. Then came the final play. Mrs. Mercer called my mother. My mother called me immediately afterward. "Honey, I just got off the phone with someone's very angry mother. Let me guess. She says I'm cruel and heartless and broke her daughter's heart for no reason. She knows the reason. She just doesn't like it. Something about an ex-boyfriend." Yeah. Her daughter admitted to still having feelings for her ex. I ended things. Pretty straightforward. My mother was quiet for a moment. "And now they're harassing you?" "A little bit." "Want me to call her back?" "No. I don't want you involved in this mess. Just ignore her if she calls again." "Already blocked the number. Just wanted to give you a heads up. I love my mother." 2 months have passed since the grocery store incident. Time for the final chapter, because honestly, I am tired of thinking about all of this. The harassment continued for another week. More messages from mutual friends, all blocked. More attempted ambushes, all avoided. One truly unhinged voicemail from Alicia calling me every name imaginable. I saved it for potential restraining order purposes, though I never needed it. Then suddenly, silence. Complete radio silence. I thought it was over. Moved on with my life. Started dating casually, nothing serious, just getting back out there. I realized how much energy I had been spending managing Vivian's insecurities about her ex. How much emotional labor went into reassuring her she was enough while she was actively keeping another option warm. Then last week, I ran into Connor at the gym. We go to the same one but usually at different times. He was leaving as I was arriving. "Hey," he said awkwardly. "Hey. So, just thought you should know. My sister's back with her ex." I was not surprised, but something still twisted in my chest. When? About 3 weeks ago. He moved back here for work. They've been taking it slow, according to her. He used air quotes around the phrase. Good for them. Yeah. He shifted his gym bag to his other shoulder. Look, for what it's worth, you were right. She wasn't over him. I didn't see it until after you left and she spent every day talking about him, wondering if he still wanted her, whether she should reach out. She was using you as a placeholder until he was ready. I know. She didn't though. She really thought she loved you. But it was just comfortable. Safe. You treated her well, so she convinced herself that was enough. It should have been enough. Yeah. It should have been. He looked genuinely sorry. I'm sorry we all gave you crap. She painted you as the bad guy and we believed her. Didn't realize she'd been talking to him the whole time you guys were together. That was new. The whole time. Pretty much. Found out from our cousin. They've been in contact since you and her got together. He'd text her late at night. She'd call him when you were at work. It was basically an emotional affair from day one. The twist in my chest tightened. 18 months. 18 months of thinking I was building something real while she was keeping her ex warm on the back burner. While she was waiting for him to be ready. Thanks for telling me, I said. Figured you deserved to know the truth. For what it's worth, you handled this way better than I would have. If my girlfriend pulled that, I'd have lost it. I almost did. But getting angry wouldn't have changed anything. She'd already made her choice. She made it before I even knew I was competing. You weren't competing, man. There was no competition. In her head, he already won. You were just the nice guy who treated her well until her real choice was available. The words hit even harder the second time. We parted ways. I went inside and had the worst workout of my life. Could not focus. Kept thinking about all the late nights she was texting him. All the times she pulled away from me emotionally. All the times I asked if everything was okay and she said yes while probably thinking about him. I got home, poured a drink, and let myself feel the full weight of it. Not sadness over losing her. I was past that. More like grief over losing 18 months to someone who was never really mine. The next morning, my friend Marcus texted me. Dude, did you see this? A screenshot from Vivian's Instagram. A photograph of her and Derek, his arm draped around her shoulders, her smiling at the camera. The caption read, "Sometimes the right person is worth waiting for." I read it 3 times, then laughed. Actually laughed out loud. She waited for him. That was how she was spinning this. As though she had patiently waited while he got his life together. Not as though she had been dating me while emotionally cheating the entire time. The audacity. The absolute audacity. I blocked her on every platform I had not already blocked her on. Deleted the screenshots of Derek's drunk texts. Deleted her number from my phone. Deleted every photograph we had taken together. Clean slate. That was 4 days ago. I have not heard anything since. Do not expect to. She got what she wanted. He got what he wanted. They are probably very happy in their complicated, dramatic, we have always loved each other relationship. As for me, I am good. Not great, not terrible. Just good. The apartment feels lighter somehow. Less tension in the air. No more wondering if she is texting him. No more catching her getting lost in thought and wondering if she is thinking about him. No more competing for my own girlfriend's attention. I started therapy a couple of weeks ago. Not because I am devastated, but because I realized I ignored a lot of red flags. Like how she would compare me to him sometimes. Oh, Derek used to do that too. Or how she kept a box of his belongings in her closet. Or how she would get this distant look in her eyes when certain songs came on. I realized later they were probably their songs. I let myself be the safe choice because I wanted it to work. Because she was attractive and funny and we had good chemistry. Because on paper, we made sense. But chemistry is not enough when someone's heart is elsewhere. My therapist asked me last session if I was angry. I thought about it. No. I'm just disappointed. In her. In myself, for ignoring what I knew deep down. That I was never going to be enough. Not because I'm not enough, but because I'm not him. Some people will choose the dramatic, complicated, on-again off-again person over the stable, reliable one every single time. Because drama feels like passion. Stability feels boring. She nodded and said, and now? Now I find someone who wants stability. Who thinks reliability is attractive, not boring. Who doesn't need drama to feel alive. That is where I am at. Single. Healing. Learning. Not bitter, just wiser. To anyone dealing with something similar, trust your gut. When someone shows you they are not all in, believe them. Do not wait around hoping they will change. Do not compete for someone's affection. And definitely do not let them keep you as a backup plan while they wait for their real choice to become available. You deserve someone who chooses you first. Not second. Not eventually. First. Yes, it hurts to walk away. It hurt like hell that Saturday night, packing her belongings. It hurt seeing her cry. It hurt when her family and friends came at me. It hurt learning she had been talking to him throughout our entire relationship. But you know what hurts more? Spending years with someone who is emotionally somewhere else. Who is comparing you to someone else. Who is waiting for someone else. I chose my dignity over her drama. And I would make the same choice 100 times over. She can have her complicated. I will take simple. Someone who loves me, only me, without qualification or complication. If it is complicated, that is your answer.